Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now I'm to explain to you from my slide. That is, this slide is going to describe about teaching English to young learner. First, the advantages of early language to the various kind of program model used around the world. So the problem associated with TEYL, and the last, various teaching practice.
So after we heard about the discussion of introduction in TEYL, which was to know the advantages of early language, the various kinds of program models used around the world, the problems associated with TEYL, and also the various teaching practices. So here I'm gonna tell you about the reasons itself of an early to start English. And there are two major reasons here. The first one, the value of English for education and employment. So English here as lingua franca, as known as ling language. And the other explanation, as you can see on the picture here, for the inner circle, about 320 until 380 million people using English as native language. And then it became middle level, which called outer circle, where the people around 300 until 500 million people are using English as a second language, and it became global. It became expand circle, which around 500 until 1,000 million people people using English as foreign language. And that is why English became lingua franca, aka ling language, because English for nowadays can use for your business, media, communication, air and sea travel, science and technology. And now the second reason is because the benefits of early language learning. Why do we call so? Because early studies of second or foreign language learning argue that there was a critical period because prior to puberty, which children could acquire native like proficiency in a foreign language. In the other words, we can say that they like an early learners can can pick up a language easily, especially foreign language. So therefore, in this conditions in their mind that they can pick up language easily, there are four numbers of reasons of the reason for starting language learning in early age, which is the value of increased time, the possibility of better pronunciation and fluency, and the possibility of greater global awareness and intercultural competence, and the last one, the value of bilingualism.
Okay, next slide. Planning for success in EYL programs. A number of factors can affect the success of an EYL program. The most important factors are: the first, effective EYL program models. This refers to the design and structure of an EYL program that proves effective in helping children learn English and in an educated and interesting way. A good model considers teaching methods that are appropriate to the developmental level and needs of young children. Appropriately trained EYL teachers who have received specialist training in teaching English to young children. This training includes teaching strategies that are appropriate to the language skill and developmental understanding of young children. The third, culturally appropriate materials. Teaching materials that take into account the culture and background of the students. This material should be relevant and motivate children to learn English by incorporating cultural elements that they recognize and understand. Okay, and the last, continue of curriculum between primary and secondary English. Curriculum designed in an integrated and consistent manner between the primary and secondary stage of education. This allows for a seamless transition in English learning, ensuring that what is learned at the primary level builds a solid foundation for language development at later levels.
Pitfalls in English Young Learners programs. Number 1. Infrequent and short class schedule. Scheduling language classes too infrequently or in sessions that are too short can reduce children's exposure to English, hindering their learning process. Next, different treatment of foreign language. Treating a foreign language differently from other subjects and considering it a legitimate academic subject can degrade the value and importance of foreign language learning. Simultaneous implementation of new programs. Implementing new programs in all classes at the same time and at the same time without sufficient preparation can cause confusion and difficulty in implementation. Lack of program cohesion. Failing to create program cohesion from primary to secondary levels can lead to gaps and to children and learning and language development. Last is isolation of foreign language from the general curriculum. Separating foreign language learning and scheduling from the school general curriculum may hinder the integration of language learning with other lesson content. Next, featuring of effective English young learners programs. Focus on meaning. Teaching language with focus on meaning helps children to understand and use English in everyday context, strengthening their understanding. Next, integrate teaching with the common curriculum. The integration of language the teaching with the general curriculum helps link language skill to other lesson content, creating an unfelt learning experience. Task and content-based approach. This approach allows children to understand and use English through practical text and relevant subject matter, improving their understanding of the language. Fun in the classroom. Fun teaching creates a positive environment, making children feel motivated and excited about learning English. Equipping children for success. Providing English language skills to children, equip them with the tools necessary to such and in global communication situation. Fostering student autonomy. Encouraging learning autonomy helps them develop confidence and responsibility in language learning, allowing them to take an active role in a process. Like, role, role in a learning process. Realistic expectation and assessment. Setting realistic expectation and assessment help children feel complete to achieve learning goals without feeling too pressure increase their motivation. And last, interlevel continuity. Providing continuity between primary and secondary school language program helps ensure that language learning takes place in a structured and coordinated manner throughout the state of children education. Okay, that's all for me. For next part will be explained by Indah. Thank you.
The next, to conclude, EYL programs can provide more time to learn the language and can lead to better pronunciation and fluency, enhance cultural competence, and mental flexibility. Okay, thank you very much for your nice attention. And last we say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.